Welcome back to our channel. If you're new here, my name is Casey. Today, we're continuing Brand Spotlight, my mini series where we look at fashion brands through a bigger lens. Not just what they sell, but where they came from, what they believed in, what made them stand out, and why some brands stay powerful for decades while others lose their edge. In our previous video, we talked about fast fashion, how it sped up trend cycles, changed shopping habits, and reshaped the way people think about clothes. So for this episode, I wanted to focus on a brand that sits right at the center of that conversation. Zara. Zara is one of those brands that feels bigger than a store. It feels like a system, a habit, even a pace of life. You see it in major cities, malls, shopping districts, airports, and high streets across the world. And that reach is not accidental. Zara did not just become successful inside fashion retail. It helped change the rhythm of the industry itself. The story begins in Spain, in A Coruña, where the first Zara store opened in 1975. Inditex's own company history marks that opening as the moment Amancio Ortega's business expanded from manufacturing into retail, and about a decade later, in 1985, Inditex was formally established as the group that would bring its brands together under one structure. That timeline matters because Zara was not born as a luxury fashion house or as a designer label trying to create distance. It was born as a retail idea. And from the beginning, it was tied to accessibility, scale, and speed. There's also a small early anecdote that people still associate with Zara's beginnings. The store was reportedly first intended to be called Zorba, and the name was changed to Zara after a naming conflict nearby. Zara's identity was built on movement. In a more traditional fashion model, companies would design collections months in advance, manufacture in longer cycles, ship in bulk, and hope that what they predicted would still match what customers wanted by the time the product finally arrived. Zara helped disrupt that slower rhythm by building a much tighter loop between stores, data, design, production, and distribution. A widely cited academic and case study literature around Zara describes a highly responsive supply chain, frequent replenishment, strong control over design and distribution, and a level of vertical integration that was unusual compared with many competitors. One commonly cited estimate places Zara's product development and replenishment cycle at around 2 weeks for certain items, which was dramatically faster than the older seasonal retail calendar. And that is where Zara stops being just a store and starts becoming a business case study. Because Zara did not simply sell fashion faster, it engineered speed into the company itself. Harvard's overview of Zara's model describes this cross-functional structure as one reason the company can move quickly from signal to product. This is a big part of why Zara stores often feel current in a way that is very specific. They are not only displaying trends, they are reacting to them in near real time. Another reason Zara worked so well is control. Zara became known for keeping tighter control over key parts of its value chain than many apparel retailers. That includes design, warehousing, logistics, store operations, and a substantial amount of production coordination. This is one of the reasons Zara could replenish stores so frequently and keep the flow of product feeling fresh, which shows how disciplined and centralized that distribution process became. That level of control gave Zara another advantage: scarcity. This is one of the most interesting parts of the brand because Zara does not use scarcity in the same way a luxury house does. Luxury brands often use scarcity to protect exclusivity. Zara uses scarcity to accelerate decision-making. Zara trained people to shop with a faster mindset, not necessarily because every item was rare in an absolute sense, but because the shopping experience made hesitation feel costly. And that may be one of Zara's biggest contributions to fashion culture. It helped normalize the idea that fashion is supposed to move quickly, rotate constantly, and always offer something new. It shifted expectation. People no longer just waited for spring/summer and fall/winter collections. They began expecting stores to feel updated all the time. Zara's influence changed how people browse, how often they buy, how they think about outfit repetition, how they respond to trends, and even what they consider old in a retail space. Zara did not invent fashion consumption, obviously, but it helped intensify the tempo of it. Now, if we talk about mission and identity, this is where things become more layered. Inditex today frames its business around several key priorities, including product, customer experience, sustainability, and talent. In its current reporting, the group presents sustainability as one of its central focus areas. And its corporate history highlights updated sustainability targets announced in 2023, including plans to reduce emissions by more than 50% by 2030 on the way to net zero by 2040. At the customer-facing level, one of the clearest examples of this shift is Zara Pre-Owned, which Inditex says it launched in 2022. The initiative includes repairs, peer-to-peer resale, and donations. And the company says the platform is now available in 16 European markets and the United States. The broader message is clear. Zara and Inditex want to show that their responsibility does not end once a garment is sold. But this is also where the brand faces its biggest credibility test. Because Zara's public reputation is still deeply tied to fast fashion. And fast fashion, as a category, continues to face scrutiny over overproduction, waste, garment lifespan, labor conditions, and environmental pressure. So when Zara talks about repair, resale, recycling, or extending garment life, those efforts matter, but they are always being judged against the scale and speed of the machine that made Zara successful in the first place. So, is Zara still relevant? Yes, absolutely. But its relevance now sits in two different conversations at once. The first is business. In business terms, Zara remains one of the most important retail success stories in modern fashion because it built a model that competitors have studied for years and still struggle to fully replicate. Its combination of design, responsiveness, tight logistics, frequent replenishment, and customer feedback created an operating advantage that reshaped expectations across the market. The second is cultural and ethical. Zara is still relevant because it sits right at the center of the debate over what fashion has become. Zara changed the relationship between store and customer. It changed the speed of trend turnover, reshaped what shoppers expect from retail, and proved that fashion could be built around immediate response instead of long-distance prediction. And now, as the industry faces bigger questions around circularity, repair, resale, and sustainability, Zara is being challenged to show that it can evolve without losing the engine that made it one of the most influential brands in modern retail. What about you? Is Zara one of those stores you still go to when you need something quickly? Or has your view of the brand changed over time? I'd love to know what you think. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.